Let's do my makeup, no makeup look while I tell you why I'm quitting my weight loss journey. Beginning of the year, one of my goals for 2024 was to drop 45 pounds before the end of 2024. I started pretty strong, I'll say, for the month of January. In February, I had already dropped about 18 pounds, which was amazing. A lot of changes and stuff were happening in my personal life. So I was doing a 60-day challenge, which is great because it helped me so much. And then after those 60 days ended, that's where I sort of lost track per se, because I didn't have my peers and accountability and stuff like that. I felt like I was like losing momentum, right? And that's when I also started posting content on TikTok, because I was like, okay, so if I start posting content on TikTok and sharing my journey with other people, that's going to keep me accountable, right? Because I'm going to be sharing my progress and they're going to be sharing their progress and so on and so forth. So it's going to be really helpful. So then I started doing that, and working full time and doing TikTok on the side was hard. Was really hard. It was challenging, right, in terms of time. Having a family and being able to be present with them and whatnot. So that definitely became really challenging. March, April, I was definitely struggling, but I was doing the best that I could just so that I could keep up with the journey, right? And then comes May, mid-May, end of May, beginning of June, I started feeling sick. Like it was so odd. I didn't know what was going on. I started feeling really sick. I went to multiple doctor's appointments, got lots of testings done, and they couldn't find anything. Everything they tested came back negative. Everything they could think of was like, there was nothing wrong with me, right? And so I was just like, I don't know what's going on, and da da da, and just still trying to keep up with work and keep up with family and stuff. I was just like, I don't know, maybe it's just age. Maybe I just need to get used to living like this and stuff. I don't want to say I was like immediately dismissed by my doctors, but I was definitely dismissed because everything was coming up normal. Nothing was showing up normal. And so there wasn't really anything they could prescribe to me. There wasn't really anything they could do because they couldn't diagnose anything, right? And so the whole month of June went by and things were still the same. I was still feeling sick and stuff. Now, beginning of July, during this whole time, I've been going to my gynecologist. And everything they tested, again, was like negative and stuff. Came back negative and stuff. Like beginning of July, I felt like things were definitely getting like, some days were definitely getting worse than others. And so I was like, maybe I should just go to my regular doctor and see what are they going to say. I was like, because I know I'm not crazy. I know I'm not making up this stuff, right? I went to my regular doctor, and it's funny because the first thing that she said was like, are you sure there's not a junior in there? And so saying if I was not pregnant, and I was like, no, I can't be pregnant. I am on birth control. I just went like less than a month ago to my gynecologist. They tested me for everything and everything came back negative. And so she was like, well, I still have to test you before I can, prescribe anything to you and stuff. And so I was like, okay, let's get tested, In my mind, I was positive, like, there is nothing there. So then she tested me and it came back positive. I was pregnant. I was almost 8 weeks pregnant at that time. So the whole time that I was feeling sick and I was feeling like I couldn't eat, couldn't really, I was physically feeling ill and stuff. This whole time I was feeling that way. It was because I was actually pregnant. Those were pregnancy symptoms. But they were definitely a lot different than what I've experienced in the past with my previous pregnancies. So, yeah, I tested positive. I couldn't believe it. It took me days to believe it. So, this happened. Got tested. I went to go see my doctor July 3rd. That's when she told me. July 4th, everything is closed. So I was like, I'm just going to have to wait. And that was like a Friday, I think. And so I was like, I'm going to have to wait until next week so I can go with my gynecologist and get an ultrasound and, you know, just kind of like do the whole thing, right? Very next week, I went on a Tuesday with my gynecologist. They tested me, I did an ultrasound, and sure enough, there was a baby there. And I was about, going on 8 weeks almost. And I didn't know, right? And so obviously my symptoms got worse and worse and worse for that first 4 weeks that I had just found out. I lost about 10 pounds. I couldn't really hold anything. Just like first trimester symptoms were like really strong, and I kept losing weight. I couldn't hold anything, any food. It was really, really hard. And obviously, now that I am pregnant, the goal, the healthy thing is to actually gain weight, not to drop any weight. So that's why I'm going to sort of put a pause or quit on that goal for this year. Losing weight is just definitely not my main priority right now. My main priority is growing a healthy baby, being healthy myself, so that way when due date comes around, I am strong enough to deliver her and stuff, and that she's strong enough to come into this world and being able to survive, right, out in the world. So so that's why I am sort of quitting or putting a pause, however you may want to say it, on my weight loss journey. I will definitely resume that once I have the baby and I have adjusted in terms of breastfeeding and whatnot, and sort of setting up maybe a good diet and stuff, just to see how that's gonna go. But yes, that's why I am quitting or putting a pause on my weight loss journey.